Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you buy manga on DLSite. So before we begin with today's video, I want to give you guys a warning. DLSite is not a website for minors. This is a website that's intended for adults because it has a lot of explicit content. Yes, they do have a version of DLSite and some works that are suitable for all ages, but that doesn't eliminate the explicit works. So again, if you are under the age of 18, this is not your website. If you're someone that gets uncomfortable with sexual kinks and very explicit works, there is a way to filter them out, and I will go through that. So yes, but just bear in mind, you will probably see some boobs and other explicit things on your page, but you can filter them out. Another thing before we proceed, DLSite, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a website where you can buy and support independently published Japanese works. Manga, webtoon, otome games, other computer games, like everything on that website is done independently. That means all of the works are not being published by major publishing houses. So if you want to support an up-and-coming mangaka or an up-and-coming developer, that's probably the best way to do so, because otherwise some of those works will probably not be published by an American publisher. So here on my iPad, I have some of the works that I purchased, the ones that I did review on my channel a few months ago, and the ones that I purchased in this video. So if you're interested in knowing how you can purchase from DLSite, just keep watching. So let's begin by going on DLSite.com, where you're going to see this landing page. On the top right, you'll be able to select which language you want, and there's a long list of languages to choose from, making this one of the most foreigner-friendly Japanese websites. In addition, you also can select which currency you want to see. Since I am based in the US, I'm going to choose English and USD. Now below, you'll see 3 different DLSite websites. We have all ages, which excludes any explicit works. We have the adults one, which is geared more towards a male demographic. And I will warn you that a lot of the titles on the adults website, since it is the R18 version, it does get pretty explicit. Viewer discretion is advised. Then we have DLSite Garumani, which is targeted to a female demographic. This website is also known for otome games, TL comics, and BL works. I personally tend to use DLSite Garumani the most, since I predominantly buy Yuri and BL manga. DLSite Garumani will hit you with some explicit works from the get-go, which I will be blurring out for the sake of YouTube. If this makes you uncomfortable, then please use the DLSite for all ages, which does not display explicit works. That being said, you will still see some genres and themes listed on the website that are very sexual in nature. I'm going to log into my account, which works across all of the DLSite websites, but if you don't have an account, then just make sure to create one. One thing about DLSite is that they always have some type of promotion or coupon going on, so I'm going to claim my 15% off coupon, which I will use later in this video. The left column of DLSite will become our best friend when navigating this website. This is what we're going to use to refine our searches and filter out unwanted themes. We're first going to select English works, since I want to pull up all the content available to us in English. You should see some ASMR voice packs, some games, and even manga. Now in product format, I'm going to select to just display the manga. I'm going to unselect Gekika, which is essentially graphic novels that don't follow a manga format, and I'm also going to be unselecting webtoons. Now I know that the screen is comically very blurred, and that's because I just want to play it safe. I don't want to be struggling with keyframes by blurring out certain things. I'm also going to be blurring out the genres as well, because some of them are just not YouTube friendly. They're essentially themes that are kinks for some people. And yeah, the best part about being an adult is I can just ignore all of the things that make me uncomfortable and choose to filter them out. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be selecting on Yuri/Girls Love, which will clean up the searches and only display the Yuri titles for me. Now, if I want to narrow it down even further, I can select to see just the Yuri titles that have sweet love. Then you see that the results go down to just 2 series that are using those specific tags. If you also want to display BL and other gay works, you do have to scroll down to product category and select that you want to see BL BL and queer works. For some reason, BL is considered its own product category within DLSite Garumani, so just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go down to ages. You're going to be seeing 3 options to choose from. All ages is non-explicit works. Then we have R15 and R18. If you're American, think of these like movie ratings. So R15 are going to be works suitable for teens 15 and older. They can be sexual, but they won't be explicit like an R18 or a rated R film. R18 is meant for adults and adults only. These are mature titles meant for adults only. Also new to DLSite is an AI generated section. Unfortunately, generative AI is also being used in Japan, but if you want to filter out all generative AI works and even those that use it partially, then you have the option to filter out generative AI completely, which I will be doing. So now let's try to find some titles for me to buy. If you saw my sponsor video that I did with DLSite a few months ago, then you will recognize Senpai no Kouhai, which is a beautiful Yuri drama that I highly recommend. This work is available in Japanese, English, and Spanish. Since I already own that, let's see if I can find anything new that catches my eyes. I am currently displaying straight BL and Yuri manga suitable for all ages. Once you select your filters, the browsing process is a lot more pleasant. You can hover over the covers to enlarge the cover image before clicking on it. So let's click on I Cannot Love You, which looks really cute. This is a BL rom-com with a tsundere male lead. It's also an all ages BL, which is good. The file format for this title is JPEG. Some will be in PDF format, which I prefer. You can also flip through the preview if you want to read a little bit or just see how the mangaka's art style looks like. And we can also see that this title is available in quite a few languages. So for $1.08 USD, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my cart. Like I mentioned earlier, you can filter out explicit content from your searches, but you cannot get rid of them entirely. So I was jump scared by some boobs with this pop-up, but let's just continue browsing. So now we have Hitotose Floral Formula, which I also reviewed in my previous video. This is a very cute BL read, and okay. We have a fantasy shoujo. This one is catching my eye. It takes place in a shrine and it features traditional Japanese attire. The artwork looks beautiful and the tags look like things that I would personally enjoy. This story is 47 pages long and comes in PDF format, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to my cart. So this is what my cart is currently looking like. I am gonna blur out some more non-YouTube friendly titles on the bottom, but I picked out 3 titles, which adds up to $3.47 USD. The checkout process on DLSite is a bit confusing, and it's where I see most people really struggling. So we're going to click on checkout, and this is what the section is going to look like. It's going to be displaying some payment methods, coupons, and the products you want to purchase. In coupons, if you have multiple coupons in your account, you will only see the one that you can use in full color. So for me, that's only the 15% off coupon that I got when I logged in. So I can just click on the coupon, then accept to activate the coupon. Now for payment, we're going to go up to payment method and click on edit, which will take you to another page. From here, you can use your Visa or MasterCard, but DLSite does recommend you to buy points if you're an international customer. You'll also see some other payment methods, but they're for people in Japan that have the option to pay for them at convenience stores. Sometimes Japanese websites are notorious for not processing foreign cards, so going with the method that they recommend guarantees that your payment method will get processed without any issues. So I'm going to click on the option for international customers, which will take you to this page. From here, I can see that I currently have 40 points left over from my last purchase, and I can click on DPay to buy more points. If you live in the Philippines or Malaysia, there are other payment methods specifically for you. I'm going to use the first method recommended to me, which will take me to a website called Waffle Play. This website layout is very simple. You'll see the different point options and how much they would cost in yen. You'll also see a box where you can type out your email address and also the payment method options. And you can use Google Pay or Apple Pay on this website. I only need about 400 something points, so I'm gonna choose to buy 500 points today. And after putting in my email address, I can continue with paying with Apple Pay. The process is super simple. I just need to scan the code with my iPhone and confirm the payment on my phone. Then I can confirm on the website, and the 500 points ended up being around $3.39 USD. And after that, you will see this page when your order gets sent off to your email address. Click on recharge now, which will take you to this page on DLSite, where you're going to be needing to put a serial code. This serial code will be emailed to you. So pull up your email, and the email that you'll be looking for will come from Waffle Play, and it'll look something like this. So just copy the serial code that you'll be pasting on DLSite, and then click on redeem serial code. And just like that, we have our points in our account. I know this process is quite long. It gets a lot quicker once you get used to it, but the first time is definitely like Now that we're in checkout, we can go back in and reapply the 15% off coupon and click on points. Here you can see your available points. If you click on use all points, it will only take out the necessary amount of points needed to complete your purchase. So I'm just going to leave that option checked and then click accept. And then all I need to do is finalize purchase. This will take a moment, but once the payment goes through, you will see the options to download your purchases. If you accidentally click out of this page, don't worry, the download link will not completely disappear. I'm just going to go ahead and download it. Please excuse my very messy desktop with video files and other things that I'm working on. I will blur it for the sake of my privacy. When you download the files, they will be in a zip file that you'll need to unzip. The shoujo manga titled Abode Where the Bee Gods did come in a PDF format, which is ideal. If you're importing your manga to a tablet or reading device, then PDF file formats will work best in my opinion. Otherwise, the pictures will be sent to your photo on your tablet instead of being in your files. I Cannot Love You was sent in a JPEG format, so I will have to do an extra step to make all of the JPEG pictures into a PDF file format. If you have Adobe Acrobat, you can easily do that through the computer, but my computer doesn't have Acrobat, so I'm going to be using a website to turn all of the JPEG files into a single PDF file format. So now that I have I Cannot Love You as a PDF file, I can just send both of the files that I purchased to my iPad, and I'm just going to airdrop them to my iPad, make it nice and simple for me, and then you'll be able to see them in your Files app if you're using an iPad. From here, I can see all of the other DLSite titles that I purchased in the past. When you click on the title, it'll get pulled up like this. I've gotten used to just scrolling when reading these PDF files, so for me, this is not much of an issue. Something important to note is if you're buying from DLSite, just remember that you're agreeing to respect the creator's copyright. This means you cannot distribute these works for free or use them to make profit for yourself. You cannot re-upload them and charge people to buy these files from you. Now, if anything happens to your files, maybe you get a new tablet or computer, you need to re-download them, you can pull everything that you've purchased through the DLSite Play library. And now that we're here, let me recommend you some circles that I personally would recommend if you're someone like me that likes Yuri manga. So the circles are groups that translate works, and one of the biggest groups is Yuri Hub, which focuses on translating just Yuri manga. A lot of these works in this circle are slice of life, they're romance and drama Yuri that are not explicit. Then we have Yuri Hub Plus, which focuses on translating the series Love Only the Body, which I did review in my previous DLSite video. This series is quite a long Yuri series that I would personally recommend to older teens and adults. It does have some sexual themes, but it isn't R18. I feel like it would be comparable to like a Sweat and Soap. I've only read the omnibus, but I did go ahead and purchase the rest of the series, which I do plan on binging at some point this year. Tomboys is another circle that specifically makes Yuri works featuring butch characters. So the creator Natsuo Mutsumi does speak English, and she actually does post a lot in English on her social medias, but if you would like to buy her works physically, they're now available through Manga Mavericks Books, which is a smaller printing house that was launched last year. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. I know DLSite is a pretty confusing website to use, especially the payment process can be very intimidating at first, but if you want to support independently published Japanese manga, then this is one of the few websites that allows you to do that. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for new content, and I will be seeing you guys very soon in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye!